What's up, y'all? Sean here. I go by Taylor Exchange on YouTube, and today we're packing up orders. It's Friday. I have 17 items for $403.18. A little bit less than usual. It's still pretty early morning, but I shipped pretty late yesterday. I think it was around 3 o'clock. So I had, I think, like 43 items then, but it seems to be selling about 30 items a day. I averaged it out last night, and it's been like 29 items for the last uh, 3 months, 29 items. So today, though, only 17. If you guys didn't catch the last video, I feel like the topic was good, but like the quality and the performance on like the production was bad because my mic was kind of messed up. But nonetheless, the thumbnail in this video, this live, is actually pretty solid. It took me about 10 minutes to make, but I feel like it was a pretty good one. And we'll get to those silver tab jeans later. But for now, we're going to pack some shirts. I sell quite a bit of shirts. If you guys have questions on like what I buy, what I sell, go ahead and just put them in the chat. If you're catching this later, you can put it in the comments and I will reply. But I'm going to do a live once a week where I pack and ship items. And until then, I'm going to create like video ideas. I think, a lot of people in the reselling space do the what solds and they do the, like haul videos, and they're all great and stuff. But if you guys want to see like the haul that I have, this is like just a ton of stuff. And it's not anything that I want to like go through one by one. Like when it comes to doing that stuff, the prepping of items, it's like taking the tags off, putting them in like price buckets, folding them neatly, making sure the buttons are buttoned, and like checking for flaws. I don't really want to show all that. So I think I'm gonna do video ideas based on like um, running like a business, like running this business, and kind of like my thoughts behind why I do what I do, how I get through certain things and obstacles, and um, that's pretty much what it's going to be about, I think, because then I can look back and see like where my thought process was later on down the road, and hopefully I will be looking down at where I was now and being like, oh geez, I guess I had to go through all those steps to get to where I'm at now, which will hopefully be like just like a much bigger and smoother running operation. So let's get into the shipping. The first item is going to be Brooks Brothers. This is a long sleeve button down. Brooks Brothers, pretty good brand, bigger sizes usually do well in most clothing categories. Let's pack this up. It's 11 ounces. Yeah, if you guys ship clothes or ship like a lot of items, you'll notice that the USPS rates have increased for the holidays. They do this every year. It's kind of sneaky the way they do it. Like they tell you that they're going to increase the rates. So they do for the holidays, but then they do usually like a yearly increase and they knock it down from the holiday rates, but it's actually higher than what the original rates was like for this entire year. So a little sneaky how they do it to try to like soften the blow of increasing their rates. But I mean, I get it. It's like a business, and the USPS people, they'll tell you like they should get paid more, but for like the service they do, they're a good company. I mean, no doubt. I think out of like all the items I've shipped, one of them was truly like lost. Another one was they claimed that it was a baseball bat. They claimed that it was just gone. It had like come out of the shipping tube, but I had taped like the ends of the tube, and I think they just opened it and took the bat. But I don't ship that kind of stuff anymore. I don't like shipping anything really heavy or anything like that. The next item, this is an Ariat Pro Series shirt. They do pretty well. This one sold for $17 plus $8.99 shipping. I would have done better on it, but the color was purple. Usually when it comes to like the cowboy brands, you're going to want the colors like black, grays, blues. Like mainly for men, you want those types of colors. This is crazy. So this one's going to Maryland and it's $6.51 because it's 13 ounces. Like, ouch. It's almost like priority price, priority price of like a couple years ago. So one thing I want to talk about like in this live, just because it's on my mind, is networking with people. So you hear the term thrown around all the time, like you need to network, you need to like um, be around the people you want to be like, and there's a lot of truth to that. But um, to break it down, like to me, what networking would be is like um, it's kind of like gaining knowledge from other people to get uh, almost like a fast track into what you're trying to do, or like a cheat code in a sense. Like you just want to get to the end of the test without really like, I mean, yeah, you have to do like your homework to build the knowledge, but like if you can get the key, like the answer key to the test, then you can kind of just fill in the gaps from there. So if you already have like a good foundation built on how to like solve problems and execute, being like consistent, doing the shipping and the listing and the photographs, like what you want to do with networking is find out how other people do it, so that maybe you can pick and choose a few of those abilities and implement it into your own business. So, for example, um, we got an Eddie Bauer like long sleeve button shirt. Usually, this is actually a denim one. So, usually, if I see long sleeve denims, I like to pick them up if the size is good. Sometimes the brand doesn't even have to be that good, and it's just like a style that a lot of people like. So I was at the gym yesterday because I've been trying to go to the gym like 4 times a week at least. Usually 3 of those days are like weights and swimming, and then one of those days is just weights. Because when you do like big upper body lifts, it's really hard to swim. So I'm only doing like one of those a week, and that was yesterday. So I was at the Y and I was doing weights, and there's a guy next to me doing weights too. So, like in between sets, I was talking to him kind of about like weights, like how heavy you should go when you're like don't have a spotter. And he's like, "Oh, well, I could help you spot." And I was like, "Nah, I mean it's cool because I kind of there's really no point in like going to failure in my opinion. I mean, I used to think that was the way to do it, but honestly, like the risk of injury is so high when it comes to that kind of stuff, and it's kind of dangerous. So it's better like, I'm not in a sport or like competing for like anything like that. But so whatever. So we started talking, and he said, I said, "What do you do for a living?" Like I usually ask this to people whenever it's somebody that's in between like maybe 25 to 40 usually, because typically people in those age ranges work for a company, and they're working like the 9 to 5, or they're climbing the corporate ladder, or doing something like that. And if you find somebody that's in that age range that's not, there's a chance that they own a business. I mean, yeah, they can be like servers or work night shifts, things like that, but there's a good chance that they own their own business, and they're taking advantage of that like middle of the day, like 1 to 3 p.m. or 2 to 4 p.m. to kind of relax, because that's really like the time of day that you crush all the hard work in the morning, and then you eat, and then maybe you do a little bit of work, and then you kind of like chill out. And then, some people work a little bit later, or some people just end the day. Some people only work a little bit of the day, but he was, he owned a granite company. So he does like granite countertop installations for kitchens and bathrooms and things like that. And I thought that was really interesting because he said he was 34. Now, uh, he said he'd been doing that business for, what did he say? 16 years. So that means he started the company when he was 18, which is a little hard to believe, but I do know of people that have started companies pretty young. So maybe he had experience from like a dad who ran a company, or, because you kind of have to have like a little bit of know-how to just up and like either borrow money or just go out there and start working if it's a business like that, because granite's really expensive. You can't mess up on a piece of granite. He was telling me, oh, these are the silver tab jeans. I just packed them in this envelope. Let's talk about them. Those are the vintage Levi silver tab baggy jeans. They were size 30, 32. So like, pretty pretty good size, not a great size, but good size. Sold for $49.99 plus $8.99 shipping. That was my full asking price. I picked up about 6 of these from that private pick, and it was $3 a piece. So I was holding out for like, 50 plus shipping on a lot of these. And then I think I accepted like $35 on one that had like, um, I don't know if I had like an issue with it or something, but I decided to accept some just to kind of get the ball rolling on those. And then this is, I think, the second one that's sold, and they've been listed for like, I don't know, like a week and a half. Pretty good sale. So yeah, so he had the Granite Company, and he was telling me that. He was telling me that for, I think it was 5 years, he was barely profitable. He said he was like pretty much reinvesting all of his profits back into the business, whether it was buying tools, maybe like somebody cut a piece of granite wrong and you had to like pretty much break even on the job, things like that. And in my opinion, the dude looked like tired, like he looked wore out. You could see it kind of in his, he kind of had sunken in eyes, and maybe that's like a genetic thing, but he was just, you could tell he had busted his butt for years. He said 16 years of building this company. And I was thinking about like my company, and it's like, I think I've been profitable since like month 1 in reselling. I mean, it hasn't been like the most money. I think that month I made like 75 or $175, something like that. But each month, I've done a little bit better. And he was telling me for years he didn't make any money. And then he said, but since he was at year 16, it had been 6 years since he had last like lost money on a job, meaning like he got a slab of granite and they cut it like a half inch too short, and he had to get another slab. And that could be like a $6,000 mistake. But he's built up a crew, and he pretty much has been cruising since then. And the one thing I asked, I was like, man, isn't it great like running your own business? And he said, yeah, dude. He said, absolutely, it's great. So that's a conversation having with somebody who has like that, they have like that experience that I'm looking for. And I was just lifting weights and I saw him and wanted to talk to him. Like it really helps to try to figure out what other people know, because you really don't know what they've been through. I mean, you've lived your life, and you've seen all kinds of like hardship and success and stuff. So I like to like peek into other people's lives and figure out what they've been through, and then what I can take from them. That is what I like to do when it comes to networking. So you can do it in a lot of different ways. Some people they contact people on Instagram or YouTube in the space. So like we're in the reselling space, and there's a lot of good resellers on YouTube. I'm gonna shout out this guy. His name's Big Yumbo, and I know it's a ridiculous name, and I haven't asked him what it means yet, but I just came across his channel, and I think he has like 1,000 subs, but he knows his stuff. Like his numbers are about the same as mine, except I think he has like way less items listed than mine. He's selling, I think he's at like a 50,000 90-day total, around that number. So he'll probably hit, close to the 200,000 mark on sales. But man, the stuff he's picking up, like I've already learned like a few different styles and brands to kind of look for. And yeah, I think he's in the Utah area, because he mentioned Desert Industries. And yeah, there's a lot of like climbing brands that don't come across Texas, but the styles and like just like what he's thinking about when he's going through the racks, like those are things that I've kind of forgotten about. And I don't want to say forgotten like I've forgotten how to source items, but you fall into these routines when you're doing anything really. If it's almost like listening to your favorite song, like the lyrics, what's about to happen, and it's comforting. Like it's nice and easy. But when it comes to learning something new, it's a struggle, and nobody really likes to struggle. People like to just be comfortable. Gary K, what's up, man? First dude in the chat, man. I appreciate your comment the other day. That was very, very nice to hear. It's nice to hear nice things. Part of the reason why I like YouTube is because I like to talk, and I like to meet people, and I like to kind of, learn from them, because you'd never be able to do this like back in the day, just pop online and and have people to talk to on the internet. But so yeah, back to sourcing. So one thing that I sell men's clothes. Like I sell like almost 100% men's clothes, but there's more women's clothes in the thrift store than men's. So yesterday, for the first time, I had like I think I did decent at the first thrift store, which I knew it wasn't gonna be that much stuff. And then the second thrift store, I crushed it in the men's size. They had put a bunch of clothes out, and I found a lot of stuff. So I had a lot of time in my schedule, like an extra like 30 minutes. So I decided to go to the women's tops rack. That's a category that I'm really going to try to focus in on. One, because the items are usually under a pound, and two, there's just a lot of women's clothes, like especially the tops. So I was in that section, and there's like three racks, and they're really long racks. And I was trying to go through it like I go through the men's, but like instantly, the first couple brands I'd never even heard of. So what I used to do when I learned to do clothes is I would look up the comps, on the eBay app through every single brand, every single size, the style, whatever came up, I would look it up. And I mean, I would be in the thrift store for like an hour a day every single day because I had a full-time job when I was building this business. And it was brutal, man. I mean, so many like you're talking like you look up an item and there's 800 listed with like 20 solds and you're just like, "Oh my gosh." Like I think about the people that have those listings. I'm like, "Why are they even listing their item?" Like that stuff's never going to sell. You're trying to find like 100% sell through in the beginning, like 75%, 50%, and now I even pick up like 20 to 30% sell through just because I do believe my items will rank better than other people's items, and my price usually is pretty competitive. So that's something that I do, and I don't think you can do that starting out as easily. But once you build like a lot of feedback, a lot of proof with eBay that you are a seller that accepts offers, has low prices, like things like that, you can go for the ones with the smaller sell through rate. But I was in that aisle for like 20, 30 minutes, and I think I made it like a quarter of the way down the rack, and I had found two items. One was kind of based off of just material. If you ever have like the Mizzen and Men golf polos, it has like an interesting feel to it. It's not quite like a polyester, but it's like soft, but also like has a little bit of weight to it, like not super thin. And I found a women's shirt that was similar to that with like the little scoop neck, and it was black, and it was like a 1X, which for women is like a bigger size. So I picked that up, and it had like I think 30% sell through, but I just wanted like a win, right? I didn't want to just like fail, but that's more of a me thing than like what you probably should have done. And then the second item I found, I think had like a little bit better sell through. I don't really remember what it was exactly, but I couldn't determine what was a blouse and what was like a dress and what was a shirt. I just don't know those keywords. I don't even know what those things really are. Um, so what I did was I would hold up an item, and if there was a woman next to me, because there's usually like older women in the thrift store during the day, I'd be like, "Hey, is this like a blouse or like what is a blouse?" And you wouldn't believe how many people wanted to like help explain it. And what also happens, it's kind of embarrassing, is this one woman came by and she goes, "Sir, that's for a lady. That's not for a man." And I'm kind of like I'm not buying it for myself, but I was like, I'm buying it, and trying to explain reselling to like a 60-year-old woman, like it can be tough. They don't really care or understand or want to care. But another woman who I know she resells, and she used to do it like the last 2 years pretty heavy. And I think she got hit with a big tax bill because she sold like, I think like $50,000 and end up getting the 1099 when they were doing it. And I think it like kind of crushed her spirits and she stopped reselling for this year. Well, she held up a shirt to me, and I don't have the brand, but she goes, "This is a very valuable shirt." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Well, the designer only puts limited runs of his stuff out." And it had like a really nice print, and it was it may have been a blouse. I really don't know. It may have been a blouse. I'm not sure. And it was selling for like 35 bucks, and all the tops in that store are $3. So the sell through was great, and the item was great. And I was like, "Well, don't you want it to sell?" Because I didn't know she was not selling, but she's like, "No, I kind of stopped selling." I said, "Okay." She goes, "I would keep it to wear, but it was too big." And I said, "All right." So I went and grabbed it. So that's three brands that I learned in 20 minutes from the women's rack. And if I mean that's a pretty good spread. Three items in 20 minutes, three new brands in 20 minutes. That's pretty good. So if I can do that once a week, by the end of the year, that'd be like 150 brands. Like, I'm probably not going to learn that many, but I will definitely be more familiar with which ones not to look up, because I looked up quite a bit that just were terrible. Um, and yeah, a lot of it comes down to like size. Right now, the only women's clothes that I pick up are like the women like like Columbia PFGs for women's, or even Magellan fishing shirts for women, or like Cabela's, and then some of the flannels. Those can do good for women, but they usually have to be a bigger size. So that is going to be strategy moving forward, like towards the end of the year, and then hopefully by next year I can kind of like crush the men's, because when it comes to men's brands, like especially in the same thrift stores I go to, I usually know most of the brands and I know the styles and all that, and I don't have to spend too much time in there. So if I can, capitalize on that, which I have been, and then go through the women's and maybe pick out like another 10 or 15 from the same store, that's going to increase my items and ultimately the money and all that stuff. So now when it comes to listing them, I'm definitely going to have to take some time to learn how to list them. That's for sure. Oh, cool. So I'll talk about this item. This is it's called a Hill Flint long sleeve. It's a Harvard sweater in maroon. So it's got like, just looks like a sweater, like a tight knit sweater. But anything with like Harvard on it, or any of those Ivy League schools, there's a chance they can be worth some money. This one I took a chance on because I don't buy them very often, especially like sweaters. I kind of stay away from that section. This one sold for $33 plus $8.99 shipping. So I had it for $39.99 and someone offered me $30 and I accepted. Probably waited because it wasn't cold yet, But yeah, Harvard sweaters, like Cambridge. I think I've sold like a Cambridge shirt before. Things like that. And they're just extremely popular, especially if like freshmen are going and want to like have like an older looking sweater, or maybe just somebody wants to feel like they can flaunt that they're smart even though they didn't go to Harvard. They can buy this Harvard sweater. Speaking of items that like, I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but one item that I've picked up and sold is like a FedEx like work uniform shirt, polo, and they sell pretty well. So I was taking my dog for a walk and I saw a FedEx guy and I asked him, I said, "Hey, how much do those polos cost that you buy like to work?" And he said, "They give it to us." And I said, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, it's hard to understand because I sell them on eBay all the time. And you know what he said to me? He goes, "You're probably selling it to people that want to impersonate a FedEx worker and steal packages." And it like crushed my soul when he said that, because I thought like workers were buying it to have an extra shirt. Like it's a pretty demanding job. I'm sure they tear up their shirts. But when he said it, there's a chance people are stealing because of my shirt, I was like, is that an accessory to a crime or something? Like, I don't know. That's probably not like every sale. But yeah, uniform shirts do pretty well. Like pizza shirts do pretty well. I've sold a lot of Domino's. I don't really see Pizza Hut as much, but Domino's. I've sold, I think, Papa John's. Like, and yeah, a lot of them in the thrift though have stains. Like, but if they're not too bad, they'll still sell. And you're not talking like a lot of money, but it is an item that will move. And usually like bigger sizes, because I think bigger people work at those places. Probably because they can get free pizza if they work there. Let's see. This is just a Ralph Lauren shirt, like a button up. It's like an Under Armour pant. It's like the sweatpants kind of. I'm really getting away from these because when it comes to these Under Armour pants, like the elastic waist can be kind of messed up in them. Sometimes they're way shorter than they're supposed to be, and sometimes the drawstrings are like gone. So you got to check a lot of things. I'm really trying to get away from them. They sell well. I mean, it's not like they don't sell, but it's not something I really want to mess with on a weekly basis. Gary, is it Jerry? Gerry, Jerry. He can't control what others do. Yeah, I mean, Like I also sell a lot of military BDUs, the woodlands especially. Those are like the green, brown, and black ones. A lot of guys buy that for paintball. It's not like a uniform that's in service right now for the Air Force, but um, yeah, people buy that all the time. And I put it under military collectibles because I think that's the category it should be in. And yeah, so like what if you sold like a police uniform and they're like impersonating a uniform, you wouldn't want to sell that. Or it might not even be allowed to sell that. So yeah, you kind of gotta like think about it a little bit. But FedEx shirts, I will continue to sell FedEx shirts. Looks like we just got an offer on something though. Let's see. This is a Nike long sleeve quarter zip. Let's see. So they offered $6 plus $8.99 shipping. So that's terrible, but I always check to see if the item has a flaw because sometimes items have flaws, and this one has a hole. It has a hole in the collar, like where the tag was. So that's always a shame. And when it comes to any item like this, like I had it listed for $12.99 plus $8.99 shipping, so that gets you to like that $22 mark. That's with the hole. They offered $6, right? So it's going to come out to $14.99. It's going to be first class, which now with the shipping cost is going to be like, $6. But there's no point in holding this item because it should never have been bought with the flaw. The flaw was found after the fact. So you accept the offer with hopes that one, they buy another item in your store because I do have like a fair amount of athletic wear. And two, it tells eBay like, look, this guy took less like a 55% off offer to get the item sold because eBay wants sellers that sell items. They don't want people that post it like sky high and then just wait forever to sell it. Like they have to pay money to have the site, visible or to have the item visible, So when in doubt, just accept the offer, move on, unless it's something kind of cool. Like if you don't find it very often, I would hold out. But if it's not a lot of money and you don't find it very often, you might as well sell it because people probably don't want it. But yeah. Drifter Thrifter said G-Day. I guess that's a good day. Good day to you. It's Friday. I don't really feel the buzz of Friday like I used to with the 9 to 5 or going to school or something like that. You don't really feel the buzz, but my wife will be off though, so that's cool. More time to hang out with her is always nice. Now this is a let's see. Yeah, so this is an Abercrombie & Fitch women's plaid long sleeve button down. This is exactly the type of item I'm talking about. So I had sourced that for like $2 and it sold for $9.99 plus $8.99 shipping. So, and that one was under 8 ounces, which a lot of women's clothes like tops will be under 8 ounces. It was a size medium, so not even like the biggest size, but it was like the cool red, almost like a Christmas plaid, I call it, like the red and green. Pretty neat there. So yeah, I want to get into women's tops. If you guys know any YouTubers that do a lot of women's tops, let me know so I can follow them. The only ones I follow right now for like YouTube content are like Kaylee Eileen, I think is her name. She does quite a bit. She has like a pretty big operation going. Like she has a lot of employees, it seems like, and I don't know how they do that because her numbers don't seem like that great, but she has the content and, I don't really know her whole business, but I just know employees can be, I bet they can be a little expensive. Drifter Thrifter said Saturday here. So you're on the other side of the world, or you're just convinced it's Saturday when it's Friday, but likely you're somewhere else. That's cool. I don't know many people that it's currently Saturday when here in Texas it's Friday, but it's nice to know one. This is an interesting brand. This is Red Valentino. So Red Valentino it's like a designer type brand. I don't know if these jeans are like authentic or not. I got them at a yard sale from a reseller who she had like consigned some items for somebody and then said She said she couldn't sell those or something. I don't really know. I looked them up and found like um, very little comps. It's a size 25. It's skinny. I got those last summer, so those are like over a year old. I paid $5 for them. They sold for $15 plus $8.99 shipping, and they're going to New York, the Bronx. Gary says, "Wow, Saturday here. It's Friday morning, 10:30." Yeah, 10:30. So it's 9:30 here. I'm in the Central Time Zone. 10:30, Jerry. You must be on the East Coast. Drifter. I want to get into more women's tops. Yeah. So it's just looking them up, right? I mean, it's like the worst part. So a little tip I can tell you guys. It's a little like unnatural, but I use the speak to text feature in YouTube in eBay on the app. I type in I go to the app and then I press the little mic and then I just speak what I'm looking at. And it's weird because you're pretty much like holding it like this and speaking and then but you can continue looking through as it populates rather than using both hands to type. So you can like say the one, like Under Armour short sleeve polo men's 2XL green used, and then you just keep looking through until you find the next one and I put it like on like the little rail of the cart. And then whenever that populates, I just go to solds and then I either put that one back and then I speak into the next one that I've just pulled and I keep on going. So um, it's definitely hard to get used to, and you have to really articulate the words because a lot of times when I say beige, it comes out as bay or something like that. And then if I say used, for some reason it populates Houston. So that's kind of annoying, but I have found that it's way faster than typing. And I even type with the shortcuts. So you can do the shortcuts in your messaging on your phone. So I type like uh, SSBM for short sleeve button men's use. That's what it will populate with just those 4 characters and then pressing like the thing that populates. Even doing those shortcuts, because you still have to type out the brand, press the shortcut, press enter, filter to sold. If you speak it, all the words are in there at once, and then you filter to sold. So if you can get used to it, it's much faster. And I don't think many people do it. It is weird though, because people think you're like talking to yourself, but yeah. Let's see. And yeah, that Under Armour 2XL polo sold for $11.19. That's with a 30% off. I list them at $15.99 plus shipping of $8.99, and then I give them a 30% off if they're watching the item, and it goes to $11.19. So, Drifter, I have currently like 4,730 something items, but when you go to my store, there only shows 4,000 like 25 items. And I sent that to my friend. I looked in incognito. It still shows just above 4,000, but in my actives, it shows 4,700. So I thought about calling eBay, like why a lot of my items aren't seen. And I'm not really sure what the deal is. I wonder if they're governing my traffic based on the store. Like I really don't know. I'm not really complaining because sales are up. I mean, it's not like I have 0 sales days. Like I pretty much average about $500 a day in sales. But yeah, it's strange. And you go to my store, it does not show all the items that are currently active. So I thought about going through some of my older items. Like I have my old photo setup with like decent items, and they're not optimized with like the title and with the probably the keywords and stuff. So I'm gonna take out a few items and maybe mixing in some of those old ones, like just doing that type of editing in the store. Maybe more will populate, or maybe I'll just call eBay and ask them. I honestly don't waste too much time on it. Like that is a lot of items that aren't being seen right now, and I don't really know why. But it doesn't show like when it says like add recommended item specifics, like I don't have any like required ones that are shown. Like it shows recommended for many of them because I don't fill out all the item specifics, but when it says required, typically they won't show the item because you have to put in required. So maybe I'll dig into that a little bit, but yeah, a little over 4,000. So it's a lot of words, man. I feel like I talk faster than my brain sometimes. But it's very relevant because I was just thinking about it. I don't sweat it too much. Somebody just sent another offer. Let's see. These are the 511 Tac Light Pro cargo pants. They're a men's 42-30. I have them listed for $29.99. They are new with tags, but they've been setting on the shelf for a while, like at the thrift store. So I don't list them. I don't think I list them as new with tags. Very rarely do I list them with new with tags unless I like truly get them from a retail store. But they offered $20 plus the $8.99 shipping, so I'm definitely going to accept that. And I'm accepting it because I know I have some used 511 tacticals in black. And if you find the 511 tacticals in black, a lot of people that are prison guards, a lot of military, a lot of police, those firefighters, those are the type of guys that buy the 511 tacticals because it has all the cool pockets for your knives and your weapons and all that stuff. So I'm definitely going to accept that one. I just listed that one this morning too, but I'm cool with it. I'm definitely cool with it. Jerry said 25 size. Yeah, that's girl size. Different brands of jeans. It seems vintage has value. Yeah, I don't know. It is a new brand for me, so those Red Valentines, not too sure, but they did sell. So it's good. But stuff from eBay too. Yeah. Drifter says, "Cool. I have 6,000 items between two stores. Are they separated by like different categories? Is that why you have two stores?" And then Drifter says, "Yeah, I sometimes relocate items in storage and end and relist. You find a good number not listed too." That's a good point. Yeah. Gary says it feels good to go to back and send because things are moving. Good show. I mean, pack and send. Yeah, pack and ship. So I want to do like actual production shows, and the last video I did was like the mic setting in the Mac was set to like 35% or something. So like when you spoke into the mic, it was super soft. So I had to bump the volume all the way up just to hear the dang video. But I am going to get better at videos. I do like it. I do like the editing. It's just like you have to capture enough video and you got to like write the script out, which, is all things I got to learn. But I do like YouTube. I like some of my older videos like are doing like okay. People actually watch them, and I know the production quality is poor because I just didn't know what I was doing. But I do want to go live once a week though. Small mail. Drifter says, "Yeah, was small mail day for me today, as I had to get done before 9 a.m. I've about 15 sales since though." Yeah, man, 6,000 items is quite a bit. I think I can store like maybe 6,500 to 7,000 in my garage right now. I'm gonna have to buy 2 more shelves to max it out, and then my weight setup that I have in the garage, I'm gonna probably tear that down because I'm going to the gyms and stuff, which I found working out around people and the chance to talk to somebody unique at the gym is something I value rather than just going to my garage and working out, which it does save on like time and fuel or whatever, but it says something to go to a place and work out around other people. You get like that juice, that energy, I like to call it. So yeah, but yeah, dude, that's cool, man. 6,000 items is doing it, dude. That is good. I really want to just sell like 1,000 a month. I'm selling like 29 a day on average, I think, and I think it's 2,600 for the last 90 days in sales. Like that's how many items, but be one of those things. Drifter said, decided to have two. He has 2 stores. He's running one down and listing the others. Oh, I see. So you have like, 2 stores, one with newer and then older. Yeah. So when it comes to like my philosophy behind like this business model of pushing volume is I list something at what I think it should sell at, obviously. But if it doesn't sell for what I wanted it to be at, then I pretty much just do a fire sale. Like I don't try to maximize every single item because I figure if the item is priced accurate, it's photographed well, the title's well, and it doesn't sell within the first month or 2 months, the chances of getting that max dollar, especially if it's not a rare item, like if it's a rare item with low amount sold, like maybe there's a chance, but if it's like a common like Ralph Lauren or Under Armour or Nike, those types of things, and you don't hit your price in the first 90 days, there's probably a good chance it's going to just sit around. So like you might as well sell it for 50% off or whatever, and just get the item moving and move on to the next one. So that's kind of how I look at it. Drifter said DVDs, CDs, video games, adding a lot of graded card stuff. Okay, so yeah, you have smaller items. That's awesome, man. My friend's trying to do that right now. He has a full-time job though, so it makes it tough for him to go like sourcing and that. And there's a lot of people that do video games and stuff in the it's almost like it's like a really not really like easy category to get into, but like people know a Mario is gonna go for a little bit of money. So they're gonna grab it. But people don't really know that like the some of the anime titles or Japanese titles, like it seemed like those games are kind of like missed on, or like manga, things like that people don't they're not really familiar with or even comfortable being around. Uh, they don't see the value in some of that stuff. But yeah, video games, man, that the media category it's an interesting one. I could get down with selling some of that. I've already learned so much about clothes though, so it'd be tough to like, do a sea change and go to media, but that's a good one to be in, man. That is a good one to be in. But I do like just tossing the clothes because I don't worry about like them breaking and shipping or anything. It just takes so much more space. It takes a lot of space. 14. This is like a Nike Golf. It's like the old style. It didn't sell for much money. Let's see. It's like this is like a turtleneck, actually. Let's see. But what's good about like doing the items and selling them is just you can kind of get a feel for what sells and what doesn't. And then eventually you'll be like, okay, I know that'll sell. It won't sell for much money. So like, I'm not going to waste my time with it anymore. Let's see. Jerry said, yes, storage can be an issue depending on how much items and how big those items are. Storage space is needed, and then not falling over stuff is good. I've seen some of that before. Yeah, I mean, have you ever like just been in a lot of clutter and then cleaned it all out, and then like your head can like think more clearly because it's like there's just less shit in the way. Like, I mean, it really fogs and like brings you down. So I have a video of like cleaning my garage out. Cleaning the garage out whenever I decided to turn the garage into the warehouse. I built a shed in the backyard and I moved all the stuff out of my garage into my front lawn. And I did this all on a Saturday. I started really early. I moved it all to the front lawn, and then I like blew out the garage with the leaf blower. And I even I don't think I mopped it, but like I cleaned it really well. And then it was just empty, so I had to like start designing like how I wanted things to be. But then I had to move all the stuff from my front lawn into the shed, and I had my brother-in-law helping, but then he ended up having to go. So it was like getting dark too. And I had to like move all this stuff to the backyard. It was a huge pain, but I did a video of like cleaning it out. And if I wouldn't have done a video, I would have done it all in daylight. But nonetheless, it was a really good feeling though. It was a really good feeling. Drifter said, I got a lot of sales in January, cleared them out. Yeah. I like DVDs and Blu-rays. A lot of sellers don't see value in them. Fine by me. Yeah. Do you use the barcode scanner on your on your phone, like the back of the phone, to bring up the comps? I know that's a good way to do it. I know the booksellers do that. Jerry says, before Christmas should be great. Before January, many people may be out of money by January due to the holiday spending. Yeah. I mean, then you got to think like some people take their tax money, they get it early too, which is crazy. But yeah, around tax time though, when people get those checks, usually people are buying video games like electronics and things that they probably shouldn't be buying. Drifter said, I've 3-bay deep shed. Garage used 2 bays so far, so I could move over. I need to. Room isn't a problem if stock management being able to find. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Sounds like you got it going on, man. This is a super old item. This is the Levi Dracone pant. Uh, it can do pretty well. This one was a weird size. It's a 42-30, but I think this is like, I don't know if umpires use them in baseball. I know they have certain blue pants they use, but these have they have like the black Levi tab on the back, like this black gold one, and then it's like the polyester. But if you find this one in blue, especially with the orange tab, that one is like extremely well. It's like the you would see it on like That 70s Show, like Donna's dad would wear that kind of pant, and people buy that all the time. But this gray one didn't sell for very much. So. It's going to Carrollton, Texas. That's a place I was just at the other day. It's a pretty nice area. It's funny though. Okay, print this out. I'm gonna tape this one. There we go. All right, so 17 items, $400, not too bad. I have 3 sales that just happened during the packing, so I'm gonna end this here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab them, pack them up. I appreciate you guys for hanging out. I'm gonna try to make Friday the day that I go live. It'll probably be 9 a.m. Central Time. So, Drifter, you're hanging out. What is it, like Saturday night there? Pretty cool. Glad you guys stopped by. I'll see you next Sunday, or no, next Friday, and then I may put out another video. I'm still thinking of like a good idea, but I'm gonna try to get a video produced at least before the end of October. So I'll see you guys. Take it easy.